steps of protein synthesis. You need to know it because we will do it in genetics, but let's just talk about it now. The steps of protein synthesis. Protein synthesis. So as I gave that illustration, I said that if you consider yourself as the body and that body is the house, you will notice something about that house, that there are building blocks. If this is body, this is house. The building blocks are your block. You know your block. Then in the body, the building block are the amino acids. Are you there?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes,
the person that is controlling the building of houses is what we refer to as maybe the site manager or the engineer. You get, let's say the engineer. Are you there? While in the case of the body, it is the DNA.
Yes.
Good. Now, the DNA knows how to build this particular body, but the building of this body is limited to what the DNA has. It's just like an engineer. If an engineer does not know how to build a skyscraper, he can never build a skyscraper. The best he will build is bungalow. Are you following me? So which means if this particular DNA can only or has the genetic build-up for shortness, even if you feed it with excessive amino acid, it will not build someone that is too tall. You get my point, right?
Yes.
So if the DNA knows how to build bungalow, it will only be building bungalow or duplex. It will never build skyscraper. Shebi, you are getting my point. Now, with all these things I just said now, the engineer is not the person that carries the block. Hope you know. So it's not the engineer, it's the machines. You know that, right? So let's take it down the food chain. Now, moving down, the engineer most times, can I continue? You are following my illustration, right? Oh, you don't know what all these engineers now, the people, okay, you've seen this people that are building road before. They will just wear yellow cap and come. Those white people, sometimes they are building road. Those white people now.
I know engineer.
No, I'm saying in let's say road construction, they don't used to come and carry block. They'll just come and with their paper, looking very fresh, and be walking around and be like, do this, do that, but they're not carrying any block. They are the ones that actually see how that building is built. Do you get what I'm saying? So they don't do the work, they just tell the others how to do the work. Now, the DNA is only secluded to the nucleus. Oh, time is almost up. 15 minutes. Okay, I'll send another link. So let's continue. So as I said, the DNA is only limited to the nucleus, which means that it cannot transfer its information directly to the messenger. So it will give it to somebody else. So it's just like there's this particular guy that is always in the site. That guy that is always in the site is called the site manager. Now in this case, the guy, are you listening? The person that the DNA gives the information to is what we call messenger RNA. So this messenger RNA will now carry the information and go into the site. The site manager will say, oh, this is what engineer say we should build. Oh yeah, let's start building it exactly as the engineer says. Did you get what I just said? Okay, good. Now, after he has picked up this information, the next thing that happens is this messenger RNA will now come and meet the ribosome. Please, the ribosome is like the you know those people that are putting block on the building. The builders or the masons, you get. I think it's MASON they call them. That's the masons, the actual builders. And the masons in the body are the ribosomes. So the people that are actually putting the amino acid on top of the amino acid or the block on top of the block is this ribosome. However, you cannot reach the ribosome without passing through what we call ribosomal RNA. So this messenger RNA will give the information to the ribosomal RNA, and then the ribosomal RNA will now give it to the ribosome. Is it making sense? I don't have illustration for this one, but just be following this one now. And so site manager will tell the mason what to do. No, see, maybe this site manager can only speak French. We now come and explain it to somebody that can speak broken and understands French, and the French person interpreter will will now give it to the missing. Are you following me now? Good. Now the final step is this: the ribosome or the mason. Hope you know the mason will not go to where they are packing sand to bring the sand and come and build the house. He will just come to the site, and then people will bring the sand to him. People will bring the block to him, then he'll start building. Are you following? Are you following? Good. The people that bring that block is what we call transfer RNA. So when they bring the amino acid, they will give it to the ribosome. The ribosome will now use the instruction that has been transferred from the DNA to the messenger RNA to the ribosomal RNA to him, and then start putting the block on top. So this one is transporters. So transporters will bring the block and then give him. But in this case, we call this the transfer RNAs. They will bring the amino acid and give this. This illustration, does it make a little bit of sense to you? This is basically what happens in protein synthesis. I hope this is clear. So if you are to run down, yeah, go ahead. A summary of this whole thing. Okay, good. So during protein synthesis, amino acid is the building block. Are you writing? Okay. During protein synthesis, amino acid is the building block. During protein synthesis, amino acid is the building block. Full stop. The DNA coordinates and controls how the amino acid is built. Okay, full stop. It transfers instructions on how the amino acid will be built to the messenger RNA. The amino acid will be built. The protein will be built. The body protein will be built. You know, amino acid, when you stack them together, you form the protein. So we are building protein. We are not building amino acid. That's why I said that. So what did you write last? The DNA does what? Transfer the instruction on how the protein will be built to the messenger RNA. The messenger RNA. Now the reason it does that is the DNA cannot leave the nucleus. DNA is only found in the nucleus, and ribosome is found in cytoplasm. That's why I wanted you guys to have studied this thing. DNA is only found where? In the nucleus. But then if you have the cytoplasm, that's where the ribosome is found. So DNA cannot come from here and come to this place and give it the instruction. So it will give the instruction to the messenger RNA, which will carry it and come out. But then the messenger RNA does not give the instruction directly to the ribosome. It transfers this instruction first to the ribosomal RNA, which now gives this. Oh, okay. Are you writing? Or what did you write now? Before you write that, did you write the reason for which the DNA can't? So what did you write as the reason? DNA cannot. DNA. Exactly. Thank you. Full stop. Because that can come out as a question. So you now write the messenger RNA then transfers the instruction to the ribosomal RNA. The instructions to the ribosomal RNA. To the ribosomal RNA. Now, mind you, this ribosomal RNA is attached to the ribosome. So once you transfer it to the ribosomal RNA, the instruction now gets to the ribosome. Do you get? Yeah, the ribosomal RNA is attached to the ribosome. So once you transfer it to the ribosomal RNA, the instruction gets to the ribosome. Okay, good. So there's this thing called codons, basically. That is basically, codons. That's how these RNAs actually transfer. It's a pair of three purines and amines that basically doesn't. You don't need this information, Sha. You're not a medical student, but I'm just telling you that that's how they. You will still do it. You will still do it in 100 level. You do it in 200 level. You do it in 300 level. you do it you do it in plenty places. So but the point is that it is just three codes or three amino acids that link to each other. This always links with this always link with this. So anytime you want to transfer, don't worry, let's leave it. We'll talk about the code. You don't need it now. Okay, so let's continue. So so what was I saying? I said the messenger RNA actually transfers the message to the ribosomal RNA, which is attached to the ribosome, and then the instruction gets to the ribosome. Have you gotten there now? Now, the full stop. You know, right? The transfer RNA picks up required amino acid from the cytoplasm. The transfer RNA picks up required amino acid from the cytoplasm. The transfer RNA. I said the transfer. We're talking about. Don't you get the transfer RNA? That's the name of the RNA. Transfer RNA now, like ribosomal RNA, messenger RNA. This one is called transfer RNA. Good. So transfer RNA picks up required amino acids and hands them over to the ribosome. Required amino acids. And hands them over to the ribosome, which synthesizes them. Yes, which synthesizes them into protein. That's the end. Full stop. Yes. So there are more things that happen though, but this is like a general simplified, because the protein now moves out and then it's eventually joined, more links are formed, and then it starts building your flesh and your muscles and every other thing that is protein based.